Hey girls, so we're back to talk about the viral STDs. Anytime you see anything medically related with the diseases that has the letter V on the end, it's usually talking about a virus. Now, viruses are different from parasites and bacteria because parasites and bacteria are living organisms. Viruses are not, so you cannot kill them. That means you can't get rid of them. Okay, so they're really important, and thing that you need to know, of all the STDs, the viruses are the ones that are super easy to get and you can't get rid of them. So a lot of people don't know that the viruses, some of those have some of the worst symptoms. They're the easiest to get and you can't make them go away. Alright, so let's talk about two viral STDs. HPV, or the human papilloma virus, also known as HPV, and herpes, okay, the herpes virus. Now we're talking about genital herpes, not the herpes cold sore. That's completely different. We're talking about the sexually transmitted disease herpes, the genital herpes. These two viral STDs are spread by skin-to-skin contact. So again, that's where mutual masturbation comes into play. Not just, I mean, it's any skin. So whether it's penis to vagina skin or anus to anus to penis skin, or oral, okay, or mutual masturbation, all four of those ways you can transmit herpes and HPV. The human papilloma virus, you need to put for your blank, can this STD be cured? Well, what did I tell you? No, okay? Can't be cured. Now, there are a lot of different types of HPV. There are over 30 different types. Some of those your body will kick out over time. Okay, your body will get rid of it on its own. But for the ones that don't, they can have some really serious consequences. One type of HPV actually causes genital warts. Remember, I said your genital area was your sexual body part area. So warts, think about, some people get warts on their hand or their foot. Oh man, we're talking about in your genital area. So how do you get rid of warts? Well, you burn them, cut them, or freeze them off, right? Well, for genital warts, you'll go down to the doctor or the clinic and they'll use acid treatment to burn off the warts. And I've seen some STD pictures and people can have lots of warts, and that's, acid treatment's not fun. That's very painful. So thinking about, again, those consequences, not just the physical consequences, but also how that makes you feel about yourself and the regret and the worry that you have that you even got that STD to begin with. HPV can also cause another type, or what we call a strain. Another type of HPV causes cancer. So for girls, and we're not just talking about any kind of cancer, so don't think that anybody that has cancer has HPV from an STD. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about cervical cancer, oral cancer from oral sex, so you can have cancer in your tongue, tonsils, back of the throat, all from HPV, the sexually transmitted disease from having oral sex. It's really serious. Cancer is treated with chemotherapy and radiation a lot of times, and you can eventually die from it if you can't get it treated and recover from that. So it's very serious STD. It's very common and widespread. So you need to know that there's some vaccines out there for the human papilloma virus, or HPV. But here's what you need to know. Of all the 30 different types of HPV, the vaccine only covers 4 types. So there are 26 other types out there that can affect you. I was just reading on the vaccine's website the other day. It says, if you'll go and you'll read and do your homework, it says it only covers 4 out of the 30. And even of the 4, it says it doesn't protect everyone completely. So here's what I want you to say. Maybe your parents have gotten you the vaccine, and I'm not here to say do or don't get the vaccine. Here's what I do want you to know. Don't think that just because you have the vaccine, that if you step outside God's protection plan for you with sexual purity, that you can strap on your Supergirl cape and then you'll be invincible, because you're not, okay? God's plan is the one that's only 100% effective. Let's talk about genital herpes virus. Now, herpes Can this STD be cured? Your blank should say no. You need to write no in the blank. It cannot be cured. Once you get herpes, you have it for life. Your body will not kick it out. Herpes is a widespread viral STD. There are 45 million people in the US right now that have the herpes virus and will till the day they die. Okay, how big is 45 million, Camille? I mean, I don't know how many people that is. Well, the state of California has 36 million people in it. California is one of our largest states. Lots of people live there. So add 9 million more people to the state of California. That's how many people are walking around the US with herpes. That's just in the US, not in the world. So there are a lot of people that have it, and if they have it, they're having sex outside of God's design with the marriage. They're spreading it to other people. So you need to have a heads up about herpes. Okay, well, how about the condom failure rate for these two viral STDs? It is greater than 50%, more than 50% chance that if you have sex with somebody that has the virus, one of these two viruses, that you're going to get it. Can you get more than one STD? Yes, you could get HPV and chlamydia, or herpes and gonorrhea. One thing that it doesn't do is, somebody's asked me before, Camille, can two people who have gonorrhea have sex and get worse? No, that's not how these STDs happen. But you can have more than one at a time, and the condom failure rate again is more than 50% because this is a skin-to-skin disease. So it might be in an area that's not covered by the condom. You're touching each other there, and you're spreading it. Okay. HIV is another virus that we need to talk about. HIV. This is the virus that causes AIDS. It is growing amongst the teenage population in the US. It is spread by body fluids. Again, not your pee, not your poop, not your spit. We're talking about blood or vaginal secretions that come out of girls when they're having sex, or seminal fluid that comes out of guys when they're having sex. So that's how the HIV virus is spread. Can HIV be cured? No, it cannot. If you get it, you'll have it for the rest of your life. And the condom failure rate for HIV is 15%. Now, that may not seem like a lot to you, but here's how I want to break it down to you what 15% failure rate is. Let's say you went to your favorite amusement park. You're going to ride the best, most awesome roller coaster there. But as you were walking up in line, you saw this big, huge sign that said, warning, 1 out of every 6 times this roller coaster ride jumps the track and people are either seriously injured or killed. Would you get on that thing? I mean, I wouldn't. I don't want to take that big of a risk with my life. That's what God's trying to protect us from. So even for HIV, and that's also the statistic for failure, condom failure for pregnancy, is 15%. 1 out of every 6 condoms, or 1 out of 6 times, the condom will fail you. And if that person has it, now they have to have the disease to pass it to you. You can't get a cold from somebody who doesn't have it. So if that person has HIV, they're going to pass it to you. 1 out of 6 failure rate for condoms. Okay, and also for pregnancy, 1 out of 6 condoms will fail you and somebody will have a baby. All right. The symptoms for HIV is, once the virus gets in your body, within the first 1 to 3 months, that virus is replicating rapidly. It's multiplying. And during that time, when most people don't even have a clue that they have HIV, they are highly infectious. You can have, it can be years before the symptoms show itself, but what the virus does is it goes into your body, finds your good fighter cells that help you to fight off infection when you get sick, and it takes those cells out. It wipes them out. So what happens, the HIV stands for human immunodeficiency virus. It takes out your immune system, wipes it out. And when you have full-blown AIDS, your whole immune system is compromised. You don't have anything in you to keep you healthy. Most people end up dying from another disease because they have AIDS, like pneumonia or cancer, because their body just can't fight it off like a healthy person's body could. So those are the viruses. I hope that's some good information for you, and keep tracking with your listening guide.